Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Yang Jiaqi, presenting assignment 2 for PWA8015. My topic is addressing faculty turnover at Guangzhou Institute of Science and Technology, or GZIST. The data draw on three sources: HR exit interview transcripts from the last three cohorts, internal budgets, reports, and MOE accreditation guidelines. In the next 15 minutes, I will diagnose why voluntary turnover has peaked to 30%, outline a theory-driven intervention plan, and show how these actions can cut attrition to 20% within one academic year while strengthening accreditation readiness. Please jot down questions as we go. I will leave time at the end for discussion because your critique will help refine the plan before it reaches the dean's desk. And let's begin with the stakes. GCST is losing 3 out of every 10 instructors annually, double the average for private higher education institutions in China. The turnover drains roughly 4 million yuan in emergency hiring costs each year and disrupts 120 courses sections, delaying graduation for some seniors. The root cause is a hire for review, fire after review loop. Bulk hires to satisfy accreditation ratios, followed by salary cuts and cost load reductions once uh, auditors depart, which pushes new hires back out the door. High churn doesn't just hurt the bottom line, it compromises teaching quality, student satisfaction scores, and ultimately the university's brand in Guangzhou's competitive education market. Breaking that loop is therefore a mission critical priority, not a nice to have. And let's move to today's roadmap. To guide you through the analysis, I will organize the talk into 6 short sections. The first is context and problem, framing the turnover crisis. And second one is the SWOT diagnosis. And third one is quarters change lens. And the fourth one is 3 integrated interventions: recruitment reform, HR policy overhaul, and the culture change program. And the fifth one is timeline and governance, a 12-month action roadmap with clear accountability and risk controls. And sixth one is metrics and impact, the KPIs we will track and the benefits we expect after year one. Follow this roadmap and you will see how each piece builds logically towards a sustainable faculty retention strategy. And here's the problem in sharper relief. Chinese accreditation rules require an 80.1 students to faculty ratio. To comply, GZIST hires two groups in bulk 6 months before each review: fresh master's graduates and retired professors returning part-time. Once inspectors leave, management imposes salaries cuts of up to 40% and slashes teaching hours, effectively nudging many hires to resign. Worse, the contract includes a 5-year promotion bond, resign early, and you forfeit accumulated benefits, and a 3-year repayment clause on PhD stipends, trapping mid-career academics. Faculty describe this as contractual entrapment. Moral collapses, exit interview themes include broken trust and career stagnation, and HR is forced back into emergency recruitment, restarting the vicious cycle. Any viable intervention must therefore tackle both compliance pressures and punitive HR policies head on. And let's move on to SWOT snapshot. And before prescribing treatment, we need the solid diagnosis. Strengthens: GZIST can mobilize rapid hiring drives and enjoys a modern, tech-friendly campus that attracts early career lecturers. Its proximity to Guangzhou's startup scene offers rich collaboration potential. And the second is the weakness. HR is highly reactive, contracts are punitive, and the mentoring is thin, fear, or mistrust. And for opportunities, by repositioning itself as a long-term talent incubator, The university can partner with neighboring tech firms for joint research and co-funded PhD slots. A pending provincial innovation grant could bankroll pilot initiatives. And for the threats, competing private universities are actively poaching staff, and tightened MOE oversight may shrink tuition flexibility. Seeing all four quadrants side by side clarifies our strategy, amplify recruitment agility and industry links while neutralizing punitive policies and budget risk. These metrics will serve as our compass for every intervention that follows. And next one is change lens. Follow Cotter's 8 steps. Why Cotter? 2 reasons. First, empirical support. Case study at Zhejiang University and Xi'an Liverpool University reported 15 to 25% turnover reductions when Cotter's sequence was applied. Second, it faced Logic mirrors GZIST's yearly accreditation rhythm. Step 1, create urgency. A 30% churn rate supplies urgency without expression. And for step 2 and 3, build the guiding coalition and craft vision. We will form a cross-functional coalition, VPs, HR, faculty reps, and define a people-first research-ready vision. And for step 4, communicate the vision. Monthly town halls, micro videos, and department briefings cascade the message. And for the step 5 and 6, empower and celebrate early wins. We remove quiet finds, launch structured interviews, and showcase each successful hire as a win. And for step 7 and 8, consolidate gains and anchor culture. Retention metrics enter the annual budget cycle and exit interview data feed continuous improvement. Cotter therefore offers both roadmap and metric spine. And for intervention 1, it's in recruitment and onboarding. Intervention 1 attacks the front door of the problem, hiring and onboarding. Action 1 is brand fresh. We reposition GZIST as the innovation gateway to the Great Bay Area, highlighting lab facilities and joint research stipends. And action 2 is structured selection. Panels use a competency rubric, pedagogy, industry linkage, and research potential, scoring each on a 5-point scale. Time to offer goal, 14 days. Action 3 is mentor and plus buddy scheme. Every new hire gets a senior faculty mentor and a peer buddy from the Change Coalition. Weekly check-ins, track teaching prep, research planning, and settling in issues. And next one is the micro-credential onboarding, a 4-module MOOC on classroom tech, AI-assisted grading, and grant applications. Participants earn digital badges showcased on the staff internet. Next one is impact targets. First year commitment survey up to 0.7 points. First year exits down from 80% to under 10. And for the intervention 2, is the policy reform. Intervention 2 tackles the contractual trade while striving disengagement. First one is the replace punitive quit fines, scrap the 50% salary clawback, introduce a positive 10% retention bonus vested over 3 years, paid annually to reinforce staying power. And second one is shorten big PhD service bond. Reduce compulsory service from 3 years to 2, with pro rata repayments only if departure is within the first 12 months. This honors staff mobility while protecting investment. And next one is transparency shield. Publish salary bands, promotion criteria, and cost of living adjustments on public internet dashboard, updated each semester. And next one is the performance realignment. Shift the parasol weightings, 40% teaching, innovation, 30% research, 20% community engagement, 10% service. And the last one is projected payoffs, doctoral subsidy, subsidy, Uptake rises 25%, mid-career voluntary exit for 50%, climate service fairness scores rise by half a point. Turning sticks into carrots reset the psychological contract between faculty and institution. And for the intervention 3 is the culture shift. One-third intervention tackles the invisible driver of retention, organizational culture. Research across Asian universities shows that psychological safety predicts intent to stay more strongly than salary once baseline pay is met. We therefore launch a two-level culture program. Level 1, communication. A monthly town hall live-streamed and archived gives faculty direct access to senior leadership. Questions submitted anonymously online receive written responses within 10 working days, closing the feedback loop. And for the level 2 is psychological safety. All department chairs complete the 12-hour micro-credential in inclusive leadership and conflict de-escalation, followed by peer coaching circles to reinforce new norms. We introduce teaching innovation awards, partly decided by students' vote and allocate 2 faculty seats on the annual budget committee. Success will be tracked with the job satisfaction survey. Our target is a 0.5 point lift in the communication and recognition subscales within 12 months. And for the 12 months timeline, the 3 interventions interlock within a 12 months action research cycle aligned to the academic calendar. Phase 1, declare urgency campus-wide, launch the change guiding coalition, and set KPI baselines. And for Phase 2, roll out revised contracts, pilot the structured interview rubric, and begin mentor body onboarding for the winter hiring wave. Phase 3, deliver chair leadership workshops, hold the first live stream town hall, and publish initial salary band dashboards. And for Phase 4, disperse the first retention bonuses, and announce teaching innovation award winners, and present media progress at graduation week. Data from PAL surveys at months 4 and 8 plus coded exit interviews feed real-time course corrections. This staging minimizes classroom disruption, keeps accreditation timelines intact, and showcases early wins to build momentum. And for the governance and risk mitigation, even the best plan fails without clear ownership. Our change guiding coalition, 2 vice presidents, the HR director, 2 department chairs, and 2 elected faculty representatives meets bi-weekly for 6 months. When monthly, RACI metrics clarifies who is responsible, accountable, consulted, informed for each deliverable. HR is recruitment reform. Finance safeguards the retention bonus fund. Faculty reps call on communication portals to risk dominates our register. Risk 1 is the budget overrun. For countermeasure, saving from reduced emergency hiring are rising fast into a dedicated retention fund reviewed quarterly. And risk 2 is implementation cynicism. Countermeasure, a traffic light dashboard of KPIs, and the risk is emailed campus-wide after every CGC meeting, ensuring transparency and early rumor control. These governance pillars convert good intentions into disciplined execution. And for the evaluation metrics, how will we judge success? 4 headline KPIs anchor our evaluation framework. First is voluntary turnover. Target a drop from 30% to 24% by month 6 and 20% by month 12. 1/3 relative reduction. And the second one is the job satisfaction survey. Aim for 0.5 point lift on a 5-point scale with special focus on communication and fairness. And the third one is PhD subsidized uptake. Expect the 25% increase as shorter service points enhance appear. And the fourth one is cost per hire. Project an 80% decrease thanks to fewer emergency searches and streamlined interviewing. Data sources include the HRIS dashboard, quarterly pulse surveys, and vivo coded exit interviews KPI results feed into an annual faculty climate report distributed campus-wide, locking accountability into public view and sustaining the change beyond the first year. And when all three interventions operate in tandem, the gains appear at multiple horizons. For the immediate term, replacing quit fines with retention bonuses raises morale. And January pulse survey pilots already show a 0.3-point bump in fairness. And for short term, voluntary turnover is projected to fall from 30% to 20%, saving roughly 2.8 million in emergency recruitment costs and stabilizing 80 plus cost sections. And for medium term, transparent pay bands and industry-linked mentoring improve applicant quality. We forecast a 50% rise in publications indexed by CSCI and 2 new company-funded research labs. And for long-term, people first reputation position GZIST as the private university partner of choice in the Greater Bay Area, reinforcing enrollment and endowment streams. In short, we transform a vicious cycle of churn into a virtuous cycle of talent growth and institutional prestige. Next one is the key takeaways. Let me condense the core message into 4 headlines. 1, urgency. 30% churn rate is eroding quality, budgets, and brand equality. And 2 is root causes. Reactive accreditation-driven hiring and palliative contracts, not individual faculty shortcomings, lie at the heart of the problem. 3, integrated solution. A quarter-aligned roadmap links strategic recruitment, policy reform, and culture change, backed by governance and risk controls. 4 is the measurable success. Within 12 months, we expect turnover down to 20%, job satisfaction scores up 0.5, and cost per hire down 80%, all documented in the campus-wide faculty climate report. If you remember nothing else, remember that sustainable retention is not a single HR initiative. It's a systemic transformation requiring coherent actions, transparent metrics, and shared ownership. And thank you for your attention. And that's all of my presentation.